What's on the show today? Bowmore 18 on WhiskyWhistle. Hey, my whiskey curious friends, how you doing? Mark here from WhiskyWhistle, your wise choice in independent whiskey and spirits reviews, bringing you kapow Bowmore 18 here on WhiskyWhistle. Let's get some poured. This is from Islay, the Isle of Islay in Scotland. It's a Scotch whiskey. It's a single malt Scotch whiskey, and it's very, very smoky. And that's not the only thing I have smoky on the table today. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to hide that over there. You didn't see it, did you? First of all, we're going to check out the color of the whiskey. Pretty dark color. Then we'll check out the legs of the whiskey, followed by the nose, the palate, and the finish before giving it a WhiskyWhistle whiskey score. Make sure you stay tuned right till then. And after that, we'll check out the next smoky thing I've got on my speaker. That's a speaker. And then we'll close out the show. All right, so stay tuned. Lots to come. Let's get into it, shall we? So let's check out the color of the whiskey, shall we? What do you see there for color? Pretty dark, extremely dark. And given its casking, some people think that that might not be all natural in color. This is a Canadian release, and it doesn't say anything here about what's added, but rest assured, they have put a little bit in there. That E150A, probably not much. It's 18 years old. I believe there's some sherry casks that are involved in this release. So all those things will add some color, but probably would need, a little bit of something to get it as dark as that. All right, and let's check out the legs. In fact, recently another, maybe the greatest of all whiskey critics, whiskey reviewers, Ralphie from Ralphie.com. Ralphie.com. Right. Anyway, that was whatever. So anyway, on his channel recently, maybe it was June or July, he reviewed this one, and he really opened up a salvo on the color for this one. And you know what? Yes, I wish it were natural in color. It's going to take a while, I think, for all the distillers to come on board and for them to see that that sales are good, and that's what people want, because that's what is driving the use of color. Is probably their sales. So if they see strong sales for Bowmore 18, I don't know if they'll change it, because if it gets lighter in color, will all of the regular single malt drinkers, not you and me, but the everyday drinkers, will they understand that that's natural? I don't know. I'd like to think so. I'd like to think that they would do research, maybe see natural color written on there, and say, hey, great, and not gravitate towards the next 18-year-old from Islay that does have color in it, and get that one instead because it's dark. Anyway, I think that's almost gone by the wayside, that dark colors mean it's better and it's older, etc. Okay, the legs. Let's see how those legs stroll down there. Coming down pretty nicely. Fairly viscous. They really hang on the glass. Take a look at the back side of that one. Anyway, so pretty showy legs for an 18-year-old, I would say. And they're still, wow, really sticky on that glass. Great. All right, and then as promised, let's check out the nose together, shall we? Have you tried this one? If you have, leave a comment with your tasting notes, with your interpretation of this. Leave a note. Give me a thumbs up if you appreciate what I've done. Hey, if you don't like what I've done, give me a down thumb. Get involved with this review. All right. All right. So the nose. You get some light peat, medium. No, I want to say light, medium peat. And it's mixed in with burning coals like charcoal, Kingsford briquettes. But not burning ones, maybe a mix of burning and unburnt ones. There's a little bit of citrus. A little bit of something like raisins in there. Generic fruit smells. Also some like toffee and caramel. Maybe a little bit of like a coffee candy. And an empty coffee bag, but not the regular coffee, the type of coffee that that's been flavored, like for example, say caramel flavored coffee beans. And that peat is very subtle. It is not quite, I wouldn't want to say that it's a very marine-esque peat. I'd almost like to lump Bowmore in with, say, Longgrow and Lecheg and some of the non-Islay peaty whiskies. Maybe that's because the peating level, the ppm is a bit lower, probably about 30, I would say for this, 35, and also just seems to be a little bit different. I believe they get the same peated malt as many of the Islay distillers. I think from what's that? Is it Port Ellen maltings? Anyway, but the result's different. How about that, eh? And there's a hint of that fresh brightness that Bowmore has that you can especially see in things like Tempest and even Vault Edition, which I quite liked. Okay, on to the palate. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, Ralphie. Did you notice the shirt I'm wearing? Oh, very sense captivating flavor. I want to put that challenge coin on there for a minute and see if that does anything different for the nose. We'll leave that just for a second. Sort of backtrack here. And that also is from Aquavitae. Oh, should I reveal it? All right. So the other smoky thing that's coming after I review this in this review, we'll try to keep it short. That is this non-whiskey Ole Smoky Moonshine White Lightnin. Now, I've seen this around for ages. I saw it in Korea, and then it popped up here in Manitoba. And it was like $5 or something like that. And I thought, well, I don't want to get a big jar of this, but I wouldn't mind a little jar just to see what it's like. This is, I believe, 100% corn distillate. So kind of like America's, we'll call that neutral spirits. Anyway, probably very high proof coming out of the still, and then they dilute it to 50%. So we'll check that out afterwards. All right, let's see how that does for the nose. Whoa. And again, I'm starting to see condensation inside the glass. So that's telling me that those vapors are collecting. Oh yeah, much more pungent. A little bit more of that smoky edge coming through. So that's interesting. Try that if you can. If you don't have one of those, well, first of all, get one. We have so far Aquavitae and Scotch Test Dummies. They're the originators, I believe. And who else has? Well, anyway, those two. Trenny and C, they have some coins as well. And I think a few other people. Whiskey Vault actually does some weird, bizarre coins that look actually not very useful, to be honest. These are nice and flat. They're durable. They're attractive and have a great logo on there. Anyway, just my opinion. All right, so the palate again. starts out very, very subtle. And the longer you keep it in, it gets a little bit astringent, a little bit dry. Again, the smoky, peaty level is such that this would probably be a very good, say, entry-level peat for Islay, for someone who has already decided that they do like the flavor of peat in, let's call those regular Scotch whiskies, which many of which do have a little bit of peat used in the drying of the malts. Even Glenmorangie. Macallan as well, I believe. Glenfiddich. All right. Another taste. You get that citrus. It's kind of like a lemon rind. If you were to mash the juice of the lemon together with the rind, it'd be something like that. And again, that peat is again very much like that cold briquette type of a smokiness. Not a whole lot of say smoked meat or these types of flavors. Baked apples. Maybe a baked apple that was done in the barbecue, getting that that smoke infused into the apple. A little bit of potter's soil, soil for potting plants. Again, I don't eat that, but it's kind of reminiscent of that smell. Well, it's nice. And the finish, at the beginning of long, in terms of finish length, I wouldn't want to call it super long. The flavor lasts a little while. That's gone, leaving your mouth a little bit astringent, a little bit of that smokiness left, but the other flavors have dissipated. All right, let's add a little bit of water. And again, just a comment, Ralphie, he suggests adding very little water. So I'm going to add a little bit less than 1 milliliter and leave it at that. All right. How much water do you put in? Do you put water in? Do you always put water in? Do you mix it up? Do you try with ice sometimes? How about in a cocktail? What about with, say, soda water? Make a highball. When you buy a bottle, do you go through all of these different iterations of serves, or do you stick to it neat? Are you a purist? I'd like to hear from you. I think you might know if you're watching this channel that I'm definitely an exploratory single malt whiskey drinker. I like to try it neat, with water, with ice, in a highball if I can. Perhaps, if I have the wherewithal, perhaps in a cocktail. I just made a smoky old-fashioned about 2 weeks ago for some friends, and they liked them. And I thought to myself, not smoky enough. I'll try that with more smoky whiskey next time. Peat. Okay, with water, the nose. Not much unchanged, but the fruit's really dissipated, leaving just that Kingsford briquette type of scent. Some what do you call that? Raw, unfired, some on fire. Okay, well, any other scents there? I want to taste it again. Oh yeah, a little bit of spices coming through here now. Hint of cinnamon, very mild nutmeg, a little bit of ginger. Maybe something like coriander, kind of floral-esque. All right. The palate with water. Cheers again. It seems a little bit enhanced with water. I'm getting a little bit more fruit. The smoke and the peat are still prominent. The finish is definitely shorter with water added. The texture is also thinned out a little bit. The texture is nice as is. I'm sure it would be excellent at 46%. It would be beyond excellent if it were unchill filtered and all that. Well, I certainly do enjoy it. It fulfills my need for peat. Some people have a need for speed. I have a need for peat, especially in the winter. What about you? All right, let's get on to the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Bowmore. Bowmore, is it Bowmore? Sorry, not Bowmore. Bowmore. Thank you, Roy. The WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Bowmore 18. What's that going to be? Well, folks, it's going to be 85 out of 100. Yes, you heard right. 85 out of 100 is the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Bowmore 18. A nice bottle, and in fact, it's priced pretty nicely for its age and for the fact that it's Islay. There seems to be an Islay premium put on whiskeys, especially where I live here in Manitoba. It's like they know people want peat, and they intentionally raise the prices of peaty whiskeys. Glass me. There we go. I'll go with that one. And we're going to try this Ole Smoky Moonshine. I don't think it's going to be smoky, but you never know. Now, this is made in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I believe they make it themselves. I've tried to look through pictures. It looks like they've got stills there. They've actually got a few distilleries, so kind of an interesting company. They have one in Nashville, Gatlinburg, etc. Boy, I don't smell a thing. Is this not water? Come on. There must be some smell. I feel like this is water. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's just very, very light. Corn straw. So White Lightning, by the way, is new make. In other words, the white liquor that comes out of the still. They have a copper still. It's very square looking, kind of like the first Iron Man suit. You know, the one he made himself in the movies. I think he was like in the Middle East in a prison. Now this is 50% ABV, and I have no problems just sticking my nose in here. And if I pour a little more, which I will try. Okay, there, got about 20 milliliters maybe. There's no kickback. You know, you pour anything that's over 50%, you get a little bit of that kickback in your nose. Not here. And again, just that very light corn straw. Something very earthy there. Well, cheers. It is a little bit smoky. It's got a very nice flavor to it. Reminds me a lot of Korean soju. This one is a little bit more, there's a little hint of caramel sweetness there. Well, I'm very impressed with this. I'm very surprised. I had complete expectations of having my nose knocked to smithereens with this thing. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get the apple pie version, and I'm going to give that a little review. Sound good? All right. Well, anyway, you heard that 85 for Bowmore. Thanks for watching, everybody. The phone's ringing. I will see you for the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching Whiskey Whistle. Be sure to subscribe, and don't forget to give this video a like and leave a comment down below. Be sure to stay tuned next time to join me, the host of the show, Mark, as I explore more whiskeys with you. Take care now, and we'll see you next time.